Hello out there, Del Shakes family. I hope you all are doing well. Happy Labor Day weekend to everyone. If you are working, I hope you get off soon. And if you are already off, I hope your Labor Day weekend is off to a good start. So it is Friday. We are 2 weeks from right now. We'll be doing our second performance of A Midsummer Night's Dream at Rodney Square, which means we need to get those actors in some costumes. So I'm excited to be having join us today the costume designer for A Midsummer Night's Dream, Ilycia Buffaloe. Hello, Ilycia.
Hi.
Thanks so much for popping on and being willing to share with the Del Shakes family just a little bit about what it means to be a costume designer and how we're building this world of A Midsummer Night's Dream. Really appreciate it. Cool. So why don't we just start off by saying, what can you tell our friendly listeners, viewers out there, about the costume world of A Midsummer Night's Dream? What might people expect to see when they come out to Rodney Square in 2 weeks?
Well, the costume world is really whimsical. It's really colorful, and you can expect to see pieces that you wouldn't typically think you would see in a theater production. There's a lot of two-toned pieces that are dual purpose for each character.
Do you want to talk a little bit what that means, dual purpose?
Yeah, definitely. So since we are an outside show and actors cannot completely disrobe, we have to use pieces that basically have more than one meaning. So basically we would take one set costume and use it for two people, meaning we would put one color on the back or one color on the front, and or one color on the inside and one color on the outside, and allow characters to basically change their entire existence into something different without taking everything off.
Right. Now, if some people sometimes ask us, well, is this going to be set in Elizabethan England? Is this set in how are you thinking of, like, if you were trying to describe, like, where this production takes place, how would you describe that from a costume side of things?
This production is not at all in typical Shakespearean costume or in typical Shakespearean land. A Midsummer Night's Dream is such a whimsical show that we are actually taking it and we're marrying the idea of kind of almost like a Coachella fairyland mixed with a little bit of punk rock, mixed with some color pop and some art pop in there. So you can expect to see things that are not at all typical of Shakespeare into our play.
Cool. And if you're just joining us, just a reminder that Delaware Shakespeare is going to be putting on A Midsummer Night's Dream free at Rodney Square in downtown Wilmington from September 16th to the 19th, which is just over 2 weeks away. And you can get lots more information about what's going on there at delshakes.org. So as Ilycia was saying, this production is, we have 9 actors playing, I think it's 22 roles, which gives you some challenges as a costume designer. And also the actors some challenges as they're thinking about how to change very quickly between one costume and the other. And we're talking a little bit about that, some of the dual purposes of these costumes. So I think 7 of our 9 actors play multiple roles, and 4 of the actors play 3 roles.
Yes.
Our actors who are the lovers, Hermia, Helena, Demetrius, and Lysander, also double as the fairies, Cobweb, Moth, Mustard Seed, and Peas Blossom, and then the mechanicals, the rustic laborers who are putting on the play within the play, Snout, Snarveling, Flute, and Snug. So how are you trying to help out those 4 actors who I think maybe have 30 seconds of downtime in the whole play? How are you trying to help them make those shifts between those 3 characters almost instantaneously?
A lot of snaps and buttons. So typically when you are getting dressed in the morning, everyone, you would use buttons to close your clothes, and you can take your time to do that. But because we have about 5 seconds between each change, a lot of Velcro has to happen, and things that are basically tearaway things that can just be taken off very instantaneously and change to something completely different.
Great. So you have your final costume fittings tonight Because we actually, although we don't start performing until 2 weeks, next week we're going to let the actors start working on all their costumes. So what, if somebody doesn't know, what is a costume fitting? What does that mean? And what are you looking forward to learning tonight at our final costume fittings?
Yeah, so a basic costume fitting is when an actor would come in, and there's a bunch of different types of fittings, but the main ones that we are doing would be where the actor comes in, they put on all their costumes, and we basically look for things like hem of pant. Does the costume fit overall? Are there any changes that need to be made? Is there anything that needs to be taken in? Anything that needs to be taken out? And things of that nature. So about a week and a half ago, we had our preliminary costume fittings, which were basically when each character came in and we looked for those things such as hem, basic fit, and if we need to take anything in or out. Today, we are going back over those notes for things that we did need to take in, things that we did need to hem, and we're zoning in on details. Things like, look, how does this make you feel? And just little things. We're going to get into hair and makeup as well.
Cool. Yeah, and how much of this, the fitting process and the costume process is collaborative? Like if an actor comes to you and goes, "Oh, this doesn't quite feel like I thought the character would feel," like how do you take those sort of comments as a designer?
Well, that's why we have our first preliminary fitting. I love to collaborate with each actor. That's one of my big things. I want to make you feel as comfortable as you possibly can to do the job that you were asked to do. So in the preliminary fittings, that's kind of a question we go over. How does this make you feel? What do you think of it? And I encourage each actor to be open and honest about each character. For example, we have a character, Puck, who felt as though they would lead with their foot the entire show. So we had to make little tweaks and little changes so that that aspect of their character could shine.
Cool. Great. And is there a piece that you've been working on that you're really excited to put on some actor tonight and see how it looks?
I'm excited to see all the fairies in their look. The fairies have, this is a fairy right here.
Nice.
The fairies have some really detailed blazers and masks and things of that nature. I'm also excited to see our fairy queen, Titania, in her full essence with lights and flowers and everything.
Wait, lights?
Yes.
What do you mean? You're not a light designer, you're a costume designer. What do you mean lights?
So we are incorporating lights into a lot of not only costumes, but set as well. We're incorporating little twinkle lights into things just to give it a little bit more of a shine.
Cool. Great. So just a reminder, we are talking today to Ilycia Buffaloe, who is the costume designer for A Midsummer Night's Dream that will be free at Rodney Square, September 16th to 19th, just over 2 weeks away. And you can find out more information about all this at delshakes.org. Now, Ilycia, besides doing costumes for theater and Midsummer Night's Dream, you have another business. What else do you do in this world of creativity?
Yes, so my main job is I'm a costume designer for drag and burlesque performers. My company is called Buffaloe, and I basically specialize in making costumes for anybody who wants to perform.
So how is there a difference between designing costumes for a theater production and designing costumes for drag and burlesque performers?
It's a little bit of a difference. In theater, you want things that kind of move with the character, but more so in drag and burlesque, I try to use a lot of spandex, only because with theater, you kind of go over the same moves over and over. You know exactly what to expect every performance. Mm-hmm. But with drag and burlesque, it can change from day to day. It can change from song. You could feel last minute that you want to jump off the stage, and my costume needs to withstand that.
Cool. Great. And how long have you been doing that kind of work?
I have been a drag designer for, I'm going to say 3 years now. I started my company in 2019.
Very cool. So again, Ilycia's company is called Buffaloe. So if you're a drag performer or burlesque performer looking for a new costume designer, you can come out to see A Midsummer Night's Dream at Rodney Square, September 16th and 19th. See what you think of Ilycia's costumes and see if you might want Ilycia to be a collaborator for you as well. Cool. So anything that you want to tell our audience to be looking for costumes? Any kind of Easter eggs, secret things, something you might not notice if they're not looking for it?
Yeah. So in the show, I put a lot of Easter eggs throughout the costumes. If you were to cover your ears and only look at the costumes, you could tell the entire story. So pay attention to patterns and repeating fabrics and the details inside of the fabrics, because you'll be able to see the entire story with the patterns and colors that I use.
Super cool. Well, I am very much looking forward to seeing actors in costume tonight, and really appreciate your time today, Ilycia, for sharing some insider knowledge about how these costumes are gonna turn out.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.